This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Melinda Bourgeois. I am with Travel Central here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We welcome you to our presentation on the Rocky Mountaineer, who now both has luxury rail in both the United States and in Canada. Joining us today will be Paul Corrigan. He is with the Rocky Mountaineer, who's been in the business the Rocky Mountaineer has been doing travel for over 30 years. So we're glad to have you. I just want to share that recently we do a webinar every week, and recently GoToMeetings changed their program. So I'm asking everyone to please mute yourself and then ask questions using the chat box. We really appreciate it if you don't jump in the middle of the presentation. Again, it's just some technical challenges that we just learned about today. So thank you for joining us. I think you're going to be in for a treat. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to be talking about an exclusive offer we have with a group going to Rocky Mountaineer that includes many extras I think you'll be impressed by. So we'll go ahead and talk a little about Travel Central now. Paul, if you don't mind. Okay, we're gonna thank you. So basically, Travel Central is based in Itinerary, Louisiana, which is right outside of the New Orleans area. We've been in the business for over 33 years. Our whole goal is to make sure from the planning process, from when you start your vacation to when you return home, you have one advisor who's dedicated to making sure all your questions are answered and always advocating on your behalf. We create, we design, and we implement an experience based on what your consultation is. So today, though, we'll be talking about the Rocky Mountaineer. And again, if you have a question, if you could please put it in the chat box. And once again, if you could please all remain muted on this presentation, we'll truly appreciate that. Now, I'll turn it over to Paul, who will take us on a journey through the Rocky Mountains, both in America and in Canada. We hope you enjoy the presentation.
Thank you, Melinda, and thank you for everybody here for joining today. I'm sure we're all very happy to know things are opening up around the country and in the world, actually. Not quite yet for Canada, but very, very soon, and I can touch on that. But we welcome you on board our Rocky Mountaineer trains. Rocky Mountaineers, as Melinda had said, we've been in business for over 30 years, operating mostly to the Canadian Rockies up until this year. So this year, we had exciting news and we launched the US route. Our company is privately owned, privately operated, luxury rail, departing from Vancouver. We have 3 different train routes up there, which I'll touch on as we go through the presentation. Just to give you an idea of what a typical Rocky Mountaineer experience is, our trains are designed for scenic, luxury, daylight train travel. So we don't actually sleep on the train. We travel by daylight so we can see the magnificent scenery outside. And the rail cars are designed just for that, just beautiful sightseeing as well as 5-star service, gourmet dining. So it's really quite an opulent experience and something you'll always remember. So a typical day on board, we board the train in the morning, we take care of all the transfers, your luggage handling, you don't have to worry about that. You board the train. We start out with a welcome toast to get you going. Breakfast is served, right away. The meals on board are all inclusive. The drinks are all inclusive while you're on board the train. Throughout the day, you'll see great scenery. And our host, who are the ones who bring to life the passing scenery, we'll talk about the history, culture, wildlife that you'll be passing outside. You'll have a lot of great picture taking. Our speed travels at what we call Kodak speed. So you're not going too fast so that you'll miss things. And then in the evenings, when we pull into an overnight stop, you'll be whisked over to your hotel. Your bags are already in your room waiting for you. There's no check-in line. We hand you the keys on the way over. So it's very seamless, first-class experience, top-notch service on board. Of course, the culinary is a big part of everybody's experience, whether you're in the Canadian route, where we use locally sourced, locally inspired dishes, like prime Alberta beef or salmon or Canadian bacon in the morning, that kind of stuff. As well as in the US, we're going to be featuring more of a Southwest flared meal and culinary experience. Again, all your beer, wine, cocktails are included, regardless of what service level you travel on. We do have two service levels. We have silver leaf rail and gold leaf rail. Both are excellent. They get super high marks for customer satisfaction. The difference, the gold leaf is a little bit more of a premium upgrade, and you'll see some of that. But the silver leaf is absolutely stunning and perfect. As you can see here, there's a picture of the outside of the silver leaf rail car. And this is a rail car we use in the US. So we're bringing down our rail cars from Canada to the US. We have a total of 65 total rail cars, gold leaf and silver leaf, but we're bringing about 11 of the silver leaf rail cars down to the US for the inaugural year of our new train route. One of the features you'll see with this train car is really the high ceilings. It is a dome car, but the big picture windows, so you can see regardless of what side of the train you're on, you can see both sides of the beautiful scenery outside. Seats are custom designed, super comfortable, lots of leg room. And again, you know, the service on board provided by our onboard Rocky Mountaineer host. We have 3 onboard hosts serving the guest in one rail car. So you can really see it's high touch service, serving the drinks. And then we have dining is seat side in silver leaf. That's a little bit different than gold leaf, as you'll see, but it's beautifully, you know, presented, plated, fresh, hot entrees to choose from. So you have multiple entrees to choose from, several different courses as well. And of course, top it off with a beer or a glass of wine or two with your meal is always nice. And then our premium level is the gold leaf, and these are bi-level rail cars. And you can see from the picture here, they sit up a little bit higher. And in the back of these rail cars is this open viewing platform, the vestibule, which is a nice little outdoor area to go and get some fresh air. We have that on silver leaf as well, but a little smaller section, where in the gold leaf it's quite large. And you know, one of the great features of this rail car is that full panoramic views. Here you can see the guests having their toast in the morning, one of the traditions of a Rocky Mountaineer. But you can see the full panoramic views from that upper level seating really just brings to life the mountains that you'll be passing by. And there's a separate dining area on the first level of the gold leaf cars. And we have 2 seating, so really the guest on there will take turns, first seating and second seating, and have a nice leisurely breakfast, leisurely lunch, all freshly prepared on board the rail car. So you can actually smell the fresh baked scones in the morning, hot coffee being brewed, as well as the wonderful meals served up at lunch and breakfast, all prepared right on board. So when you're on a Rocky Mountaineer, if you're looking at the Canadian Rockies, we actually have 3 different train routes. You can see here is a map of the train routes heading into the Canadian Rockies. All of our train routes do start or end in Vancouver, so they do go both directions. And then when you build a package, we will build a package for you customized around the train route. So you can do anything from a 5-day trip or 4-day trip all the way up to like a 2-week trip along the trains, and even doing a round trip if you prefer. So one of the train routes, our first and most historic route, is the first passage to the west. This was launched in 1990. This train route is historic where it connects the west coast of Canada to the east coast of Canada. We operated from Vancouver to Banff with an overnight in Kamloops. So this is a 2-day rail portion, and then we'll build a package around it. You may spend a couple nights in Vancouver, extend your stays in Banff and Lake Louise, and you might go up to Jasper or whatnot. And then we also have Journey Through the Clouds, which is another 2-day route that leaves out of Vancouver, overnights in Kamloops, and then we go up to Jasper National Park. And so if you're interested in seeing Jasper, that would be the route you might want to consider, because you can then work your way down to Banff and then out of Calgary. So typically, if you do one route, you're going to start in one side, say in Vancouver, and end in Calgary, flying out of Calgary, or you might start in Calgary, end in Vancouver. We also have round trip train journeys where you combine 2 train routes to make it into a round trip. So this is Rainforest to Gold Rush. Now this is a 3-day train route out of Vancouver, goes up to Whistler, overnight in Whistler, and then up to Quesnel, where you overnight in Quesnel. So there's your 2 overnights, and then into Jasper National Park. So it gives you a little bit more time on the train, which is what people love. And if you wanted to combine those two of those routes together, you can do as much as 5 days on a train. Of course, we have the most beautiful city in the world, Vancouver. It's actually rated the 3rd most livable city in the world. It's clean, it's safe, amazing food. A little bit of fun fact for you, the California roll was actually invented in Vancouver. If you like sushi, this is a place for you. A lot of great walking to do there in Vancouver and sightseeing as well. Jasper National Park, I touched on one of the it's the largest national park in Canada, and it is a must-see. Lots of great lakes, but also a lot of wildlife, 587 species like bears. If you like grizzly bears, don't get too close. You got little cute wolves, or I don't know what that is, fox. And then you got rams, and of course, if you're very lucky, you might get to see this guy. That's Sasquatch. I hear he's still in Jasper. And then Banff is the oldest national park in Canada. This is the main street in Banff. Lots of great restaurants. We have many hotels along the main street, but we also have some of the iconic hotels just outside of Banff National Park. So this is in a national park. And so also Banff is famous for their hot springs. That's kind of how it got discovered years ago. This is just a picture of to give you an idea of what some of the lakes look like in the summertime in the Canadian Rockies. This is Moraine Lake. So just stunning, the blue turquoise colored waters. And then the world famous Chateau Lake Louise, or Lake Louise, overlooking the Victoria Glacier on the other side here. Wonderful place to take a canoe out and relax and enjoy the beauty, or you might stay at a hotel there. Calgary is lovingly known as Cowtown. That's a nickname. It's kind of like the Dallas of the North. And a lot of Western films were filmed around there. Of course, Vancouver is known to be the Hollywood of the North. Calgary is known for its Westerns and lots of cool sightseeing around Calgary. But it's also known for the greatest show on earth, Stampede, which if you're interested, this happens every July. So if you're looking to see this amazing rodeo that happens about 10 days in the month of July, this is one of the best rodeos on earth. Definitely go to see it. I mentioned some of the iconic hotels that we have. These two you may have seen pictures of in the Canadian Rockies, the Fairmont Banff Springs and the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. You can certainly include those in on your trip if you'd like, but we have other options as well. And then with any Rocky Mountaineer journey, we do build sightseeing. We'll include a lot of sightseeing, and we can also tailor sightseeing to your needs and interests. So now I'm going to talk to you about a really exciting news is our brand new Rockies to the Red Rocks itinerary. This is launching this year. So we've been in business for 30 years. And we've had in the planning stages for many years to bring a train to the US and start doing train routes here as well. Well, here we did it during the pandemic. We brought our trains down and we're launched this brand new route. So you are getting in on the ground floor, the inaugural season. There's going to be a lot of surprises with this route. And so we're super excited about it. And we think it's going to be a big seller. I have a short video. Hopefully this will work, and you get a little teaser.
Extraordinary place. They're extraordinary. Our newest tour, Rockies, brings 30 years out this world-class service. Stunning desert. American South. Traveling for Colorado, past some of nature's wonder, vast canyons, paddock desert, and panoramic views, the mesmerizing red rock landscapes
It's like 80 days away from launching our inaugural season. The train does go from Denver to Moab with the overnight in Glenwood Springs. And like our routes up in Canada, the train does operate both directions. So you really can choose either direction, whichever you want to start in. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the highlights along this route if we were heading westbound. So Denver, Colorado is going to be one of the starting points of the train route or ending points. It's a great city, 19th largest city in the U.S. It's considered urban adventure. Yes, urban adventure, and it's also listed as the fourth most walkable city as well. Mile High City, you know that. These are some of the hotels we feature in Denver, Colorado. We have the Maven Hotel, the Crawford, the Oxford Hotel. So Oxford is the oldest hotel in Denver, and Maven Hotel is a very chic, locally owned place. And Crawford's built nicely into the Union Station, the train station. And you can see where the train station is in this circle here, Denver Union Station. There's a light rail that comes from the airport right into Union Station. So if you want, you could take that in there. We could also provide transfers if you'd like. The hotels are walking distance from the train station, but we can also provide transfers. But it is a very walkable city. This is a picture of 16th Street Mall, lots of open restaurants and shopping to see nearby. They have excellent art museum. In the Denver Art Museum, they have the second largest performing arts center west of Chicago. They are known for beer. They are actually nicknamed or jokingly the Napa Valley for beer. Lots of fresh craft beers brewed right there in Denver, Colorado. If you want to do a beer tour or beer crawl, you can do that for sure. Something I would recommend. And if you're into shopping, you got to stop at Rockmount Ranchwear. I don't know if anybody's been there, but great place to buy your cowboy hats, your boots, and this shirt here is what they're famous for. It's that snap button shirt. I don't know if any of you remembers having one of those, but these are famous shirts. Lots of celebrities have gone to the shop, which has been around for 70 years, and bought these. People like Sir Paul McCartney, or Cary Grant, or Ronald Reagan, Kevin Costner, well, you probably know who that is, Paul Newman, and I put this guy in there because I'm a New England Patriots fan. It's Tom Brady, but one of the most famous people to wear a Rockmount shirt was Elvis Presley. He wore one of these in one of his movies, and that's where it became super famous. So got to go visit that. And then also, if you stay in the Denver area and you want to extend your stay either way, maybe you'll go to the amphitheater here, the Red Rocks Amphitheater, date open 1941, holds over 10,000 people. It's open air, natural amphitheater, great for concerts and venues and lots of great things. Or you might decide to visit Rocky Mountain National Park, which is the third most visited U.S. national park. 4.7 million visitors. But the great thing about it, it's so close to Denver, you could rent a car for the day, drive up and be there in an hour and a half, spend the day in Rocky Mountain National Park, and then drive back. Here's Union Station, where we will start our train journey. So you'll board the train most likely at this Union Station. And along the train station, there's lots of tunnels. And a lot of people ask, oh, why aren't you bringing the gold leaf rail cars down to the U.S.? Those past travelers of Rocky Mountaineer, because so many people do like the gold leaf rail cars. They also love the silver leaf. But the big reason is between Denver and Glenwood Springs, there's like 30 tunnels that you'll go through on this train route. And those tunnels were not built to accommodate the height of our gold leaf rail car. But you'll see things like Gross Reservoir Dam. You'll also see Glenwood Springs Canyon, lots of canyons you'll pass by, see some wildlife as well before you pull into Glenwood Springs. Glenwood Springs is really is a health and wellness, uh, I guess, resort town that started back in the late 1800s when the first train pulled in, and it became very popular because it was known for hot springs. Also, it's a famous person you may have heard of, Doc Holliday. He was buried there. He was a gunfighter. I think he was a dentist too, but you can go to Doc Holliday's Tavern and have a drink. But also, as I mentioned, the mineral springs pools. These are the largest mineral springs pools in the world. There's two right here that you can see, and there are other hot springs minerals pools you can go to. They have 16 minerals. You can swim in there. Like if you're staying at one of the hotels, it's included in your hotel, which is included in the package. If you're staying at a different hotel, it's not that much, I think $10 to basically go there and enjoy the hot springs. So a lot of our clients will come here, we arrive at 5 o'clock, they'll hit these hot springs pools before going to dinner. And rumor has it, if you spend an hour in these 16 mineral spring pools, you come out 10 years younger. So it's worth a try. Then there's when we leave Glenwood Springs, and Glenwood Springs has lots of great restaurants. You'll overnight there, have dinner on your own. Then we board the train, head on to Moab. You'll pass amazing sights. You'll see the geography change. The stones, the sandstones turn more reddish. You'll pass the Book Cliffs. This is actually a famous mountain called, named after a president, James Garfield. It's called Mount Garfield. Unfortunately, James Garfield was assassinated in 4 months in office. So he passed away 6 months in office. Then you got Moab. Moab is really a year-round resort, very popular place for a lot of different things. It is the mountain bike capital of the world. So a lot of people come here year-round to do mountain biking. It's also got great water sports. It's 2 different rivers that converge into Moab that you can go on. The Colorado is nearby, another river too. Do paddleboarding, river rafting, all sorts of good stuff. Dining is super if you want Southwest dining. It's also got the oldest film commission in the world, and that's the Moab Film Commission. And lots of amazing movies have been filmed in and around Moab. A lot of movie stars come here to film. I'm just showing you some of the older ones. Of course, you can imagine John Wayne filming here a long time ago. And then we have 3 different hotels in Moab right now that we feature: the Hyatt Place, Hilton Homewood Suites for reasonably priced first-class hotels, and then we have a more deluxe hotel in the Hoodoo Moab Curio Collection. Excellent shopping. If you're into Southwest art and jewelry, you can definitely buy a lot of great stuff there, and dining as well. So another advantage of being in Moab, if you look at this map, you can see all the national parks, what's called the Mighty 5 national parks around Moab. And so with our Rockies to the Red Rocks route, so we have 18 different packages you can choose from, anywhere from a 2-day rail package, as you can see, 2-day rail package, all the way up to 8-day packages as well. So we have self-drive programs, we have guided programs, and we also have just independent programs. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about today is a special group departure that Travel Central is promoting with us. It's Southwest Wonders by Rail. It's an incredible trip to the Southwest, featuring Rocky Mountaineer in the package, and it departs October 12th to the 20th. And the price per person double is $49.36. We have a special guide. Erin Marjorie is going to be leading the group. As you can see, there's a little map with all the different sites you're going to see along the way, and I'll talk through some of those. But you'll have a local guide or like the Travel Central representative along with you, but we'll have Rocky Mountaineer guides as well. So some of the features here, so it departs October 12th through the 20th. Pricing is there. The deposit is due as soon as possible to hold your space. I think they have a few seats left I know they have several people committed to go, but if you're interested, the payment is refundable up until September 1st. And some of the features include like additional night at Lake Powell. So you have 2 nights at Lake Powell. You get dinner overlooking the lake, some great restaurants. You're going to have dinner at the Sunset Grill in Moab, picnic lunch over Canyonlands, stargazing experiences, jet boat rides, Navajo tour-led guides. Here's the itinerary. So it's going to depart out of Denver and head west, and you're going to end in Las Vegas. So you'll go into Glenwood Springs, Moab, spend a couple nights in Moab before you head out and we're to Lake Powell, where you're going to spend 2 nights in Lake Powell. You'll do some sightseeing along the way. I'm going to show you some of the highlights there. You'll go to the north rim of the Grand Canyon. A lot of people haven't been there. A lot of them have seen the south rim. You'll just go there, see the north rim, have lunch overlooking the north rim, and then also continue on to Bryce and Zion National Park and end in Las Vegas. Dead Horse Point. So when you first get off the train on this itinerary, you'll be picked up at the train station, and we bring you to this Dead Horse Point State Park, which is basically right here, and you're actually going to get to have a nice picnic lunch overlooking one of the most spectacular views of any national park you'll find is this view here. So you're going to have this beautiful picnic lunch overlooking this. That day you're going to have time to see Canyonlands National Park, which is a national park split by 2 rivers, lots of deep canyons, towering mesas, stretching 527 square feet. You'll also visit Arches National Park, which has over 2,000 sandstone arches. Our guide is also very knowledgeable of the national parks, is going to take you through there and point out things, and you're going to learn about the history and the geography and geology of the national parks while you're touring these as well. And a lot of times we may go to, like say, Canyonlands in the afternoon and then go back to, and then go to the national park in the morning. That way you get to see it at different lights. So like in the case of Arches, you'll see that a couple times during your visit. Canyonlands, you're going to get to go on a jet boat ride. You'll be on the Colorado River riding through this area here, and you'll be looking up at the red sandstones as you're inside the canyon, which is really cool. We're going to have dinner at Sunset Grill. This was a former home of, his name is Charlie Steen. Wait a minute, Steen? Charlie Steen. He's nicknamed the Uranium King. So uranium came out of this area. He became rich selling uranium, which of course uranium's used for, I think, the nuclear weapons. But anyway, he's famous for that and turned this into a restaurant. And we have a nice restaurant there. Here again, here's your itinerary. So we're in Moab. You've done Dead Horse Point, and then after 2 nights of Moab, we're going to head to south towards Monument Valley. Monument Valley is not an actual national park. It's actually a Navajo Nation's park, but you'll actually do a guided tour of this Monument Valley led by a Navajo guide in a Jeep tour. So it's really cool. You're going to get to see the amazing scenery of Monument Valley. You'll also see a weaving demonstration, learn about the culture of the Navajo Nation, and learn a little bit more about the area. As we continue on from Monument Valley, we head to Lake Powell. Lake Powell will be our overnight for the next 2 nights. What Lake Powell's famous for is really the massive size of this lake. I guess the shoreline of the Lake Powell is as long as the whole west coast of the U.S. So that's how big it is, massive. When we arrive there, we offer an optional guided walking tour of Horseshoe Bend, where you can walk up here right from the hotel and see the Horseshoe Bend. It's kind of a famous spot for picture taking, and you can relax at the pool, go to the restaurant. We'll have dinner in the Rainbow Room overlooking Lake Powell. It's absolutely stunning scenery there, and the sun sets over that place is magnificent. The next day, we take you on a tour of Antelope Canyon. This is a slot canyon that was basically like created by flash flooding into the sandstone, but you'll get some amazing pictures of this Antelope Canyon. These are like incredible photos, and that is in around Lake Powell area. And as I mentioned, the size. We also take a boat cruise on Lake Powell, so you'll get a chance to do a cruise on Lake Powell and get to enjoy that as well. Then we head off to the Grand Canyon, see the north rim of the Grand Canyon. By the way, the Grand Canyon, a little fun fact, is larger than the state of Rhode Island, which is a small state. And continuing on, and then we will have a sort of lunch break there at the Grand Canyon Lodge. So you're welcome to go in and sit there, get your lunch, and then sit in these rocking chairs overlooking the canyon. It's absolutely beautiful place to relax. And then we head on to Bryce Canyon National Park. Here's a picture of Bryce Canyon, and again, all the different hoodoos. They say they have more hoodoos than they have trees. The myth of the hoodoo is that they believed that this is the Paiute people believe that the hoodoos were legend people whom the trickster coyote turned to stone. So you'll learn a little bit about that culture, and then also that after you first visit the Bryce Canyon, you go back to your hotel, you'll check in, and then we actually have a dinner show that evening, a country western dinner show, great food, great music, live music there, and at Ebenezer's, and then we go back to Bryce Canyon. You'll get, again, this is what's called the amphitheater at Bryce Canyon. And then we have some stargazing experience. So we have astronomers that come out and give us, get telescopes, and we get to see some of the beautiful stars of the Bryce Canyon, because it's considered a dark sky preserve, which means one of the best places on Earth to actually see the stars. And that's your hotel for the overnight, the Best Western plus Ruby Inn. Then the next day you head to Zion National Park. Zion National Park is one of the more visited national parks. I think it's the 5th most visited national park in the U.S. and has been around for quite a while. You'll also drive on this route here, the Mount Carmel, Mount Zion, Mount Carmel Tunnel, and which was completed in 1930, which is a modern engineering marvel, goes through this huge tunnel. But also, if you're lucky, you'll see this very rare endangered species, which is the California condor. It's the largest bird, I think, in the world. Those wings are 10 feet wide. And then after your trip, towards the end of the trip, you're going to actually end up in Las Vegas, staying at the historic Mirage Hotel, which was where Siegfried and Roy used to perform. Of course, neither one of them are around anymore, but the Beatles, Love, I think that's still showing there. You get to stay at this great hotel and enjoy the surroundings of Las Vegas. Maybe you'll win back your money at a night at the tables. So again, to recap, Southwest Wonders by Rail, 9 days, 8 nights, departing October 12th. Contact Travel Central or Erin for information on it. I know they have a number of people signed up, and there's a few more seats left, so make sure you contact them today if you're interested. One thing I wanted to mention, and you may have seen this, is this pricing, when you compare it to what people are paying now when they're going to the national parks, a lot of the hotel pricing has gone way up. My wife just went to Sedona, and it was like $500 a night to stay at a Hampton Inn. So we got our pricing is confirmed and locked in. You don't have to worry about paying anymore. We have everything all set. Now we do have just a couple, if you're looking to travel as a individual, we do have this promotion on the Rockies to the Red Rocks, and this is good through June 20th. So if you're looking to go on your own, you want to do a 2-day rail, 4-day trip, 5-day trip, you can't make the group trip, you can save $300 off per couple or $150 per person. Plus, because of Travel Central's relationship with us and their affiliation, there's another $75 savings per booking. So total of $375 off a couple, savings on a 5-night minimum if you book by June 20th. Now, also, I mentioned Canada. Now, 2021, the border is still not open, but we do expect it to open probably by August and September. But for some of you, that may be like too close to call for you to plan a trip to Canada when you don't know when it's going to open. So if you're looking to go for next year, our best offer of the year is our All Aboard 2022. You get 2 complimentary hotel nights, 1 complimentary airport transfer, 1 complimentary dinner for bookings of 8 days or longer. It's about an $800 value. And then also, if you book by June 30th, you get a free dinner. And a free dinner would be for an 8-night minimum, another free dinner. So you'd get 2 free dinners. That dinner could be at the Chateau Lake Louise at the Banff Springs. That's about $150 value per person. So it's really a great value. These are really nice dinners, including gratuities. And lastly, on the flexible payment policy. So if you're looking to travel this year, that we have a risk-free deposit. Your deposit is fully refundable up until 30 days prior to travel. So if you want to try to make a booking for September of this year for Canada, great. You could put your deposit down. It is refundable up until like a month before, so you'll get your money back. And then the good thing is you're locking in your price. And if for some reason you can't travel or it gets suspended, you'll get to move that money to next year if you don't take your refund. And then also for the US, same thing there. So you'd say 30 days refund.
Someone, okay, there we go. We're having some problems with the sound.
Just
Well, everyone, it seems like we have a little internet problem right now. We have lost our presenter by saying, Paul, Paul, can you hear us? So there was some, this is being recorded. So we will send the recording out to you. Okay, okay. There was some questions that people had.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, Paul, I don't know that we can get you back. Let's see. So everybody, we appreciate it. We had some questions about 2022, and we also had some questions about singles. We have recorded this presentation. We will send this out to everyone, and those questions will be presented in the email that should go out within the next 2 hours. So I'll make sure to get the information about 2022 pricing, as well as single occupancy, as well as the and someone asked about if you're doing a package or your hotel's included. If you are doing a package, then that is priced in. So the package that we put out for October 8th through 12th, all the hotels would be included. So it's 8 nights, 2 days on the train. And again, all the questions will be answered. And I see we have things about diet, low carbon. I'll make sure to include those as well in the email that I send out. So once again, this is Travel Central. We have been in business for 30 years. This year has proven to be a very interesting year, and our advisors are ready to help you. We have kept up with all the safety and all the issues that are going on in the travel industry. We know what's open. We know what you need to go to the different destinations. So please work with an advisor this year. I think it will find incredible. We do these events all throughout the year. We do them because we want to make sure that when you go on vacation, you get the best vacation possible. We want to make sure that you know what's out there and what's available. Not every vacation that we do is going to be perfect for you, but then at least you know where to start, and we can help you find the perfect one for you. We thank you for everybody for coming. Paul, I'm sorry that we lost you a little bit. We had some internet problems, but we'll look forward to seeing you again. And we thank everyone for coming. We will send the recording out with the answers to the questions in the email within the next 2 hours. Thank you.